Hello everyone, Chelsea Rittenauer here, your host for Music Talks, exclusively on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. I am here with the original alternative pop band, the OHM Project. Hello guys.
Hey,
Thank you so much for coming out today. I'm very excited to have you. I know we had to reschedule this because we had some weather problems with your original date. So I'm very happy that it's a beautiful day and we're all here. So I like to figure out who everybody is individually before we dive into the band and the music. So if you could all tell me your names, what you play in the band, and kind of how you got into this whole music thing, that would be great.
All right, I'm Joe Skoski. I do songwriting, keyboards, and vocals. I come from a musical family. My parents are both fine vocalists. My mother is a retired church organist and choir director. So I had a lot of that in my background. I also took classical piano for 10 years as a child. Really got into memorizing classical pieces, and I usually like the point where I love classical music playing, where I was like, I have things memorized. I don't have to look at the music anymore. So that's one thing I really enjoy about songwriting. I lay out a song, I write the lyrics, I learn the lyrics, and I then start working it out with the band, and they add. It's like I do a template, and they do their contributions. But that's how I really became interested in music as a child, and I started singing with my friend Paz, and the band grew from there. And Ed and Tom soon were added on. Ed Wyanko was added on drums, Tom on guitar, and we are a great working unit, and we work on songs together, and it's a joyful thing to do. Songwriting really gives me a great escape and kind of a way to get away from just sort of this humdrum everyday sort of stuff. It's a way I can play I love to play in the morning and write in the morning and sing in the morning, and the band is a way I can share that with other people. So, yeah.
That's perfect. Thank you. I'm curious. So do you still do the classical thing? Because all of my training is also in classical music.
No, I like to listen to people doing it's like I like to listen to classical musicians and jazz musicians.
Okay.
I really love to hear fine pianists, both jazz and classical. I find like I'm better off putting my energy into pop songwriting. I find that's where I like putting the lyrics and the melodies together and stuff like that. But I was glad I had that training and discipline as a child, because then I think like, well, really to have 20 songs memorized, since I had memorized classical songs as a child, yeah, it was good discipline to learn. So yeah. But I have so much respect for classical musicians, so and
cool.
Composers and all this stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. I was just curious. Because
right.
I still dabble. I still do
dabble?
it myself. Yeah, absolutely. I still do it. So, but anywho, take it away, sir. Or.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, I'm Tom Boyce. I'm a guitar. And yeah, I guess I got into music about junior high, 8th grade, 9th grade. There was a talent show, and I remember a kid had his older brother on stage, and he played guitar. They did Led Zeppelin rock and roll, and everything. Oh man, that's so cool. And somebody said, well, how long does it take to play that? It's like 2 years. Okay, well, if I put 2 years into it, I could do what he did. And then at that time, I bought a Metallica cassette, and I was just like instantly into it. It's like, this is what I want to do. And I was a Navy kid, so I went to Japan, and instead of going out and experiencing culture, I did, but I also mostly sat in my room and played guitar for long periods of time. I got into self-taught, but Led Zeppelin, Metallica, Van Halen, and did that for about 10 years. And then in my 20s, I decided to really get serious and learn jazz guitar, and I started learning theory, lessons. I went to a local college just down in Virginia, and I went to Old Dominion University for a while, played with their jazz band. And then I moved to Pittsburgh, played with a few bands, and guitar is my main instrument, but I've studied other things. So I played with a few groups here, and I met up with the OHM Project.
So you guys are legit. You're legit. I respect it. Very nice.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name's Ed Wyanko, and I'm playing drums for OHM Project here with all my friends. And I got into drumming in the 4th grade because in the 3rd grade, when they said pick an instrument, I picked a violin, but then my grades were terrible. So they said, you can't play violin. You have to wait a year. And so the next year when my grades were better, I could pick again. And by that time, I had discovered Rush. And I'm like, wow, I got to go with the drums, right? So, yeah. So I became a drummer, and I was in the Norwin School District, so I'm a Norwin drummer. rock on Norwin, and went through Pitt, got a minor in music at Pitt too, so been playing drums for a number of years, and just happy to make music with my friends here in the OHM Project.
Very cool.
All right.
Nice.
My name is Jana Pazinski. I basically grew up on polka music, and that's what I did. My whole childhood was polka, myself silly. I still love it. And then I started getting into music around 14 years old. I got a guitar. I did folk music, totally self-taught. I was not trained anywhere except for myself, but it was okay because I had a good ear for music and everything. And we met in a previous band, and we've been together ever since, and doing music together. And then Joe had his project coming up, and he was saying, "Oh, I need another singer," and I said, "I like to sing," and he's like, "Okay." So he would lay out those songs that he wanted to do. I would take them home and sing, create the backing vocals and hand percussion. So it was great, and originally we started off with obscure hippie music, with which OHM stands for. And it was cool because, like, we could, I started doing it with him with the obscure hippie music, figuring out harmonies and stuff and backing vocals. Then he started doing original stuff, and that's when it got meaty, when we started doing the original music.
Okay, very cool. So you segued me into two of my next questions, which is perfect, but I do want to touch on it really quickly. So you started the group, correct?
Yeah.
And then you were next. I mean, how did this group, take me back to the beginning, how did it form? How did it end up being you four sitting right here?
Okay, I'll summarize this. I was working. I'm a fan of some modern bands too, and I like a lot of modern chamber music. I particularly like this indie band called San Fermin, which was founded by Ellis Ludwig Leon, and he studied composition at Yale, and he just really writes great pop songs that are fused with a lot of modern classical themes, and really interesting stuff. He's got a baritone sax player in his band. He has he's a trumpeter. He has a violinist. So it's a really groovy band. And I wanted to get into songwriting, but I started picked off on some songs I started writing years and years ago, and I used Ellis's. I think it was the song "No Devil," and I was working on the cover of it just for fun. I told Ellis about it. I was corresponding with him. He said, "Oh, Joe, if you get around to ever recording it, just send it to me. I love to hear what people do with my songs." So I told Paz about this. They said, "Hey, do you want to sing with me?" Yeah. So it was just a little project to get us going, just with a home recording. And Ellis is just really encouraging, and it got me going, and it got me really working on my original songs, which is something I really wanted to do a long time ago. And I finally got to a point where I had flex time at my job at PNC where I could use my mornings for writing. And my writing really started to accelerate starting in late 2017, and I've written about 20 some original songs now. But Paz and I just sort of started singing together. We did some coffee shop dates and things like that, and then we wanted to make the sound bigger. And Tom and Ed just started playing with us, and we did record. Paz and I recorded some demos with a friend, just switch with the two of us. The keyboard, it wasn't anything elaborate. But basically, it gave Tom and Ed something worth it. They added like a lot of original ideas with percussion, and Ed's percussion ideas and Tom's guitar ideas. We're like, oh, we just love doing this together. So that's how it kind of grew from there.
So it just meshed, and it's stuck, and it's been working ever since.
Yeah.
So how many years now have you all been together?
We've been active since you started playing with us in 2017. Right. And we started recording our album in late 2019, our first real studio album with Eric Kurtzrock, who's an excellent percussionist. He has a studio in Bethel Park outside of Pittsburgh.
Very cool.
And it was wonderful because Ed's such a pro at I'd never been in a studio recording process like that, and it was like, wow, Ed laid down all these drum tracks, and we did the, basically I isolated the keyboards so we knew where we were in the songs, and we really got going in the studio, and we were about 85% done, and COVID hit.
And then COVID
crash.
So we're still waiting for that album to come out, correct?
Right, the 9-track album.
I was just about to ask, so how many tracks? You've got 9 tracks.
Yeah.
And nothing has leaked yet.
No,
You're just sitting on it as of right now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so frustrating.
It
I'm
is,
sorry.
but there's a story to it. It's just like when it was so powerful to get back in the studio 6 months later to redo some vocals.
Right.
Because I had a bad allergy week in the fall where I sounded terrible, and I got in and I basically was very fresh. My voice was just like. It was just so much fun to be back in the studio. I was like, oh my God, it's so weird. I haven't been here for 6 months.
Right, and you're like, finally, it's perfect.
Yeah.
So it was kind of nice because I guess you got to polish up those areas that maybe you felt like weren't quite right yet.
Yeah, for me, I had stopped swimming, which made my sinus problems a lot. I had to change my exercise routine around to working out more on a manual treadmill. So my allergies actually got better, so my vocals got better.
Right, of course.
And I was really, really happy with it. It was such a good feeling. And Tom went back and you did some things with your guitar work.
Right.
And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically, we started recording in October. We were just getting used to the process. So then we go back in, this is a lot tighter now. I have all these different ideas. So basically started, redoing guitar parts. So you can kind of go back and just redo everything. You thought it was good enough, but just give that extra edge.
Yeah.
Right.
We had like this more time because we had these 2 frustrating months where we had phone rehearsals. We basically did a phone call and we dealt with the delay.
We tried
I know. I feel your pain. I did the same thing.
And we did it.
It's tough.
And this band was great. They did it, right?
Yeah.
Tom, you did it, right? Yeah.
We did. We sucked up. We did it. Yep. We conference call.
In May we could be outside again. So we've been practicing every week outside.
Let's pray. We'll be back.
And I bought
outside
patio
soon.
heaters for the winter, so we can practice
It's
during the cold.
perfect.
Yeah.
Battery amps.
Yeah.
So is everything recorded and finished, or do you still have a little more to do?
Tweaks. I have to tweak a few things next week. Eric is mixing, so hopefully we're gonna have a single called "Wake Up." We're gonna play that at the end of our set.
Oh,
that's
perfect.
That's gonna be our single, and Tom added a bunch of layers.
So have you played that single anywhere yet? Or
we played it out. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So for everyone out there that's watching, when should we be on the lookout for this album to drop? Do you have a tentative date?
Probably like next 2-3 months, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Late, probably, I guess maybe January or so.
Yeah, maybe for the new year. I'm thinking after
So
the
right
holidays.
around the new year.
Mix and master.
Yeah,
Perfect.
he's got to do some mastering on it. We got to figure out what platforms we want to put it on.
Now I was just about to ask, so where will this music be available?
Probably what we're thinking, like Amazon, CD Baby will put it. Yeah.
Standard,
Yeah.
downloads, and we're still researching that, but definitely online will be available.
As of right now, if people want to go and check out your music, what social media platforms can they go to hear what you guys do?
On Facebook, they can find us on Facebook, they can find us at OHM Project PGH on Facebook. We have live videos there, live performances. You can see old live streams. I think this summer we had how many live streams?
Like 5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah. So that's how we've been reaching our fans. But yeah, OHM Project PGH is where you can find our music. I also on SoundCloud Paz and I did some small studio recordings without a full band. You can hear some additional songs under Joseph Skoski. That's Skoski under SoundCloud. Some of the early OHM Project songs are down there, but we've recorded 9 songs at Eric Kurtzbach's studio in Bethel Park, and we're hoping to release it sometime, if not before the end of the year, early in the new year. So hopefully we'll have it on social media platforms, probably iTunes, Amazon. We got to look at all that, but it will be out there, and we will let everyone know. But yeah, come visit us at OHM Project PGH.
Fantastic, thank you. So to touch on the composition really quickly, now you said that you write down the template. Right? So you kind of write down the chord structure of the song, you have the idea of where it's going to go, and then you 3 come in and you fill in the rest of the spaces. And I have seen you guys perform live before at the Keynote. We miss you, Keynote Cafe.
We do too.
We really miss
Everyone
misses you.
It was the coolest place ever.
I know, it was the best. But I know you do harmonies, and you had touched on the fact that you listen to the tracks and then you make up your own harmonies and your own vocal lines on top of what he does, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so what's your process with that? I mean, do you just sit down and you hear it? Like, how does that work?
Okay, so Joe will give me, he records it like, I'll either record it on my iPad or he records it through his phone and he'll send it to me through email. And I just listen to it. I listen to the keys, I listen to his voice, and I try to make it interesting and not boring. You know, I want something interesting that's going to pop out and stuff. And it's amazing because in my whole musical history, I've never had it come to me so quickly as it does with Joe. It just pops.
I think that means you're in the right group.
Yeah,
right?
it just
it
happens.
just works.
It's amazing. It really is. So that's what I do. Like we have the recordings, and I listen. And usually I listen 2, 3, 4 times, and then I get an idea. But the real, when it really starts to gel is when Joe and I will practice. Like in the summer, I'll ride my bike down to his house and practice on the front porch. Before I would go to his house, but I can't go in. But when the two of us are together, that's when it really starts to gel.
Right.
You know, and then when we're done with that part, then we present it to these guys.
Yeah. So for you two, you hear the template, you hear the vocals, you hear the harmonies, and then you guys pretty much have your artistic freedom to do what you will, right?
Right, pretty much. I'll say, hey, Joe, can I have a chart? Okay, Tom, here you go. Okay, thanks. And then
it goes from
I
there.
just kind of figure out something on top of that. Okay, hey, what can I do with this? And just figure out what parts I could do. And there's also, the parts I could do live, and then the parts I could do in the studio.
Right,
so here
that's
live,
two
and
different
then,
things, of course.
I could add more to it. But, yeah, and then just add whatever things I can think of, and then Ed?
Very cool.
So yeah, the drummer's job is to first and foremost take the tempo that the leader gives and hold that tempo, right? And so I do that. I try to work with a minimalist kit. So my goal is to play with whatever I can carry in one trip myself. Normally, drummers need a lot of help getting their equipment around. So I'm challenging myself to play with whatever I can take in one trip. So that means you'll see in a bit here me playing the cajon as a bass drum. Mm-hmm. And then I have a traditional snare. It is a piccolo, so it's a little bit smaller than a traditional. I have a standard set of hi-hats and one small crash ride. So a very minimalist kit. And so my challenge is to bring as much variety as I can as I help keep the tempo and do the dynamics that the song requires.
Yeah.
So that's my personal challenge to myself.
Now, before we move on to the future in 2021 and onward, you guys are strictly an original project, but you did say you will do some covers here and there, and you've done some festivals where you've done specific covers, correct?
Yeah, for the past couple years, we've done Tribute Fest, which is typically last year was held in Lawrenceville at one location. Sometimes it's been held south side on Lawrenceville. Right. But we did basically a Jefferson Airplane set of 6 songs for one Tribute Fest, and the last year's Tribute Fest we did the Kinks. Which is a band that's been highly my big hippie era bands was the Kinks, and I'm a big Ray Davies fan. So that was fun actually going over I like to with tribute. I make it challenging. Like, okay, I have to memorize all the lyrics for all these songs, and some of them I know have lyrics and some I don't. So I'm really cramming. So the Kinks was particularly challenging for me because. Yeah.
You sang all the guy
boy.
Parts, right?
Yeah, I was a boy though.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
I had a Beatle hairdo. It was
Nice.
great. It was really fun.
It's fun. Why not?
And a Nehru jacket. I did the 60s Kinks.
Yeah.
It was lots of fun.
Yes.
Well, hopefully that festival will be back
Oh, I'm really hoping.
next summer.
Yeah.
So that takes me to kind of my final question. So going into 2021, what's the plan going into 2022 and forward? Like, what can we look for from you guys?
Well, we'll definitely be putting more live streams out there. That seems to be the easiest way to get stuff out to people. But I'm really hoping, like, around town, we can maybe team up with more local musicians and just create like a showcase. Yeah. And a young musician that I became friends with, Javon Thorpe, Jay Michaels. Yeah. And Jay's organized showcases before, and they're kind of an effective way to get, you basically rent out a space, or you find a space where you can just do it in a public space where you don't have to pay anything, and
do your thing, get your music out there.
Yeah, you have 5 artists do half-hour sets and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many people you can safely fit in an indoor space and stuff like that. We have a lot of unknowns right now.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that everyone in the band can play with battery amps.
Right.
At time, we're all set up for that.
So that means you can go anywhere.
And we've got experience doing that downtown.
Right,
So
that's what you were saying.
Pittsburgh public parks, they're open. You can do it. You just
So
will have to move.
You guys are ready to
Right,
go.
you just will
You're
have
ready.
to move if someone's complaining. But
Well, guys, it was fantastic to talk to you. I'm looking forward to hearing your set. Is there anything else that you would like to add before we close it up?
yeah, come see us. And we're hoping that maybe outdoor public festivals will be back in Pennsylvania next year.
Next
That's what we
summer.
really missed, playing outdoors.
And keep your eyes peeled for the album that will be dropping hopefully after the new year, sometime in January.
Walk Through the Waves.
Walk through the waves.
We'll be playing the title track tonight for that too.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. The music will be back right after this break.
All right.
At Armstrong, our employees take great pride in supporting the community. Here is a historic landmark that makes our hometown special. The Connellsville Canteen is southwestern PA's only World War II museum and home to Harry Clark's Indian Creek Valley Railroad display. Visitors can feel America's greatness through the history, stories, and memorabilia of Fayette County in the 1930s and 40s. Brought to you by the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Catch all your favorite local programming on Channel 100 or on YouTube.
All right, we start out with Loved Ones Lived Here. Original songs tonight. We are OHM Project, Pittsburgh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moments of pleasure, moments of leisure, dreams, places and things. Buried treasure don't last forever. Move on to new scheme. Whenever we go and gather, racing through the trees, realizing that loved ones lived here. Revelations on high seas. Before the assembly hall, loved ones lived here. Before the shopping mall, loved ones lived here. Before the landfill, loved ones lived here. Before the oil spill, loved ones lived here. Way to love, way to love. Find a way to love, way to love, way to love, way to love. So spicy love, enticing love. Count your blessings, past the dressing, not much time left to eat. Assess your fortunes, use smaller portions, future might hold another treat. Whenever we go and gather, racing through the trees, realizing that love once lived here, revelations on high seas. Before the streetlight, love once lived here. Before the stoplight, love once lived here. Before the newscast, love once lived here. Before the bombast, love once lived here. Way to love, way to love, find a way to love, a way to love, way to love, way to love, so spicy love, enticing love, way to love, way to love, find a way to love, way to love, way to love, way to love, so spicy love, enticing love. All right. Here's another original. This is called Miracles in Small Spaces. Like the song we played, the last one we played was Love Once Lived Here. These will be on our upcoming record that we're recording right now. It should be out in a few months, called Walk Through the Waves. And this is called Miracles and Small Spaces. Sullen rain, let's toast champagne. Humbler dreams and light. Four. Everything new and everything used and useful. No pain, no gain. Lying coaches proclaim. Miracles happen in small spaces. Mirrors reveal few traces. Suddenly there's you. Suddenly there's you. Ba 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 ba. Ba di di da. Ba 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 ba. Ba di di da. Love found in small spaces. Friendship with no replacement. Suddenly there's you. Suddenly there's you. Challenged to look at time, but can't resist your loving mind. 3, 4.
Suddenly there's you. Suddenly
There's you. Miracles happen in small spaces. Reality with few traces. Suddenly there's you. Suddenly there's you. Miracles happen in small spaces. Can't resist loving spaces. Suddenly there's you. Suddenly there's you. Ba 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 ba. Ba di di da. Ba 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 ba. Ba di di da. Ba di di da. Ba TV. Yeah, it doesn't make a difference coming up. Yep. All right. Here's another one from our upcoming release. This is called Doesn't Make a Difference. Days and all that they've meant. Bum 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 bum. Days of believing, days of achieving, singing an old song, fly me to the moon. Days of working and pleasure searching, digging up boxes of memorable tunes. Now my mouth's getting softer, couldn't hear a difference. Cloudy water doesn't make a difference. Taking things for granted, keeping a distance. Lucky charms and trinkets never made a difference. Bum 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 bum. Days I've been yearning, mostly appearing, rolling the dice and quickly moving along. Days, tossing and turning, mostly burning, food for thought, but recipes flawed. Tired of getting anxious, blaming it on the system. Tired of paying attention to the task at hand. Days are getting longer, never makes a difference. Blame it on the solstice, doesn't make a difference. Bum 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 bum. World weights on your shoulders, doesn't make a difference. Noted sons and daughters created the promised land. Nightmares quickly forgotten, that never made a difference. Clean slate illusions of the task at hand. Bum 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 bum. Right. Yeah, Tom. Tom Boyce, guitar. Yay. Woo. Song we're going to play, Hopes and Visions. I'll just introduce myself. I'm I've introduced Tom, Ed Wyanko on percussion, cajon, and various other percussion things. Ed Wyanko. We have Janet Pazinski on vocals and hand percussion, and she also does vocal arrangements for our band. And I'm Joe Skoski, keyboards, vocals, and songwriting.
Extraordinaire.
And it's great to be here in Connellsville tonight. Woo! And it's warm. For October, it's warm. All right, our next song is called Hopes and Visions. We haven't recorded this one yet, but we hope to maybe sometime next year. 21 or 22, next project.
Study books with thoughtful eyes, mastered facts as plush disguise, like a deer with headlights on. But a hope indoors, a vision indoors, bang it out on your tambourine, visionary set the scene. Multitudes of left behinds, platitudes that numb the minds, sound bites scorching the land, endless shows with their genres, promos, ads, surround sound, gloss mass production minds. But I hope indoors, a vision indoors, bang it out on your tambourine, visionary set the scene until closing time. I hope indoors, a vision indoors, bang it out on your tambourine, visionary set the scene until closing time. Your hope indoors, your vision indoors. The night comes around again. All right, this is called When Night Comes Around Again. It's kind of a bossa nova inspired song, kind of Brazil '66 inspired song, pop jazz song. This is our live version, our studio version. Has some extra additional stuff on it. You'll get to hear that later. People get to hear that in a few months. Stay tuned. Daylight
wandering, laughing starlight, endless landscapes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, ba, ba. Ah, ba, ba. Still green and bright, ba, ba. Earthly delights excite, ba, ba. Still a ton of emptiness and a lot of trendiness. Whirlpools churning, dimming lights. Ah, ba, ba. Ah, ba, ba. When night comes round again, ba, ba. As life comes round again, ba, ba. Ray of shiny stars tonight, not a blurry cloud in sight. Love endures without a price, patiently greets the sun. Ah, ba, ba. Ah, ba, ba. Ba, ba. Ba, ba. Moonlight reflections entice you. Don't look behind you. Be the mystery. Be the mystery. 2, 3, 4. Ah, ba, ba. Ah, ba, ba. Holidays in sight, ba, ba. No cares, no strife, ba, ba. Relaxation's mindfulness can't be left behind. Sun cycle sequence brings the light. Ah, ba, ba. Ah, ba, ba. When night comes round again, ba, ba. As life comes round again, ba, ba. Ray of shiny stars tonight, not a blurry cloud inside. Love endures without a price, patiently greets the sun. 2, 3, 4. Bop. Next song is called Saved It for a Friend. We will have a studio version out next 2 or 3 months. So. Cooling off. Dishwater downspouts, fading light. Brothers and sisters, righteous mind. Continent shifting, prehistorical days. Sun and moon always making their ways. 3, 4. Save it for a friend, tied a knot. Save it for a friend, favorite spot. Many days to go, many places to call home. Many days to go, many places to call home. Broken nightmares need to copy answers now. Tourists must seize legions of loyal crowds. Dreaming pipe dreams, always a ways to go, ways to go. Lazy sightseer, admiring the weeds that grow and grow. 3, 4. Save it for a friend, tighten a knot. Save it for a friend, favorite spot. Many days to go, many places to call home. Many days to go, many places to call home. Save it for a friend, tighten a knot. Save it for a friend, favorite spot. Many days to go, many places to call home. Many days to go, many places to call home. All right, got a couple more here? Yeah. Electric piano here. All right, we're going to play the title track now, called Walk Through the Waves. It's going to be released in a couple months, so this is our live version. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Been there, done that. No substitutions. Check the fine print. Quickly proceed. Satisfaction guaranteed. We smile as we walk through the waves, taking some time to just gaze, casting a spell, renew sense of smell, content in a seaside maze. We smile as we walk through the waves. Recycle can, good gravy payday. Can't take the heat, wait and see. Find of the week, found at sea. We smile as we walk through the waves, taking some time to just gaze, casting a spell, renew sense of smell, content in a seaside maze. As we walk through the waves. Let bygones be bygones. Tread lightly, let the steps remind you. Steps remind you. Steps remind you. Steps remind you. Growing barricades that waste the day. Tread the rail, let the steps remind you. Steps remind you. Steps remind you. Steps remind you. 3, 4. We smile as we walk through the waves, taking some time to just gaze, casting the spell, renewed sense of smell, content in a seaside maze. We smile as we walk through the waves, caught up in a worldly maze. We smile as we walk through the waves. We smile as we walk through the waves. We smile as we walk through the waves. This is going to be our final song tonight. This is called Wake Up, and hopefully will be our first single, and I think we'll probably have it done in a couple months, out on social media, all that stuff. So we'll be keeping you posted. Thanks for listening tonight. We're OHM Project. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sun reminders, getting behind now, morning birds scream. Do nothing moping, better start hoping and dream to believe. You blame it on your friends, you blame it on your family, you blame it on your enemies, you blame it on the people up, wake up. The subject was fine. Learn to read between the lines. Old repeated drone, warming our bones. Flag has been flown, seeds have been sown, crops have been grown. Feeling the tension, fight the aggression, hide a safe key. A mindfulness, yet childish, permanent theme. You blame it on your friends. You blame it on your family. You blame it on your enemies. You blame it on the people. Wake up, wake up. Stalled in the halls. Paintings crashed on the gallery walls. Patrons were appalled. The pieces were scared. Shards labeled with care. Safe from despair. With smothering glare. You blame it on your friends.
You blame it on your friends.
You blame it on your family.
You blame it on your family.
You blame it on your enemies. You blame it on the people. Wake up, wake up. You owe it to your friends.
Wake up, wake up.
You owe it to your family.
Wake up, wake
You
up.
owe it to your enemies.
Wake up,
You owe it to the people. Wake up, wake up. Wake up.
Thank you.
Thank you.